Hey y'all, I'm Chris.
And I'm Greg.
And this is it Worth It, y'all? And today we're going to go through our Thanksgiving prep. Usually we start the day before, maybe sometimes even 2 days before, to prep for Thanksgiving. So today we're going to show you what we do the day before to get ready for an awesome day at the Thanksgiving table. And really we only have to do a couple dishes because everything else is done today. So stick around, here we go. All right, y'all, this is the start of our Thanksgiving prep. And the very first thing we do, which Greg has already started for us, thank you. And here's your mic when you're ready, you just need to turn it on. First thing we're gonna do is we've been letting this turkey thaw out in the refrigerator for several days. This is a 12, almost 13-pound turkey. And it took about 3 to 4 days to thaw. I don't know, yeah, it's thawed completely. My kitchen sink is very clean. The first thing you wanna do, see, it's plenty cold in there. There's still ice. You want to get all the giblets out. It's got a turkey neck, anything else that we would want to use potentially for a gravy or something. Let's get a bowl, put that in. Hardest part is getting this plastic piece out because they stick it in here and you gotta pull real hard. That's a piece of fat that we can use. And then usually all the other giblets, yep, are stuck here in the neck in a bag. So this is like the gizzard, the liver, the heart. We want these too. So that is that. Let's see. What else do we got in here? Oh yeah, we got all the parts. Cool. Okay, so that's the turkey's gizzard. That's the turkey's heart. Is that some more gizzard? That's some more gizzard. That's their heart. That's the livers. So we're gonna use all that for either stuffing or for gravy. So the next thing we wanna do is we just wanna rinse it out, get any of the fluids it's been sitting in out of here. And then we are going to, I also remove the, I don't need that. I also remove that too, so. All right, now that the turkey is ready, we are going to prepare the brine. All right, we are ready. We're gonna make the brine. So, I'm gonna let Greg measure because my phone's got the ingredients on it. We're gonna use 2 gallons of water, but if we wanna just put a gallon in right here, because then we're gonna add 1.5 cups of kosher salt. And then the biggest thing you guys wanna do once Greg gets that, let me see if he can still, okay, yeah. The biggest thing we're worried about here is turning it on long enough to just dissolve the salt. So if you wanna turn it on, because we don't want this turkey to go in hot liquid. And this is gonna look like a ton of salt, because it is. Because it's a brine. Instead of brown sugar, we're gonna use molasses. So if you guys don't know what molasses is, there, he's bringing it in now. This is molasses, and it is a byproduct of purifying sugar. Okay, so that's our sweet element. Now we're gonna do Worcestershire sauce, or W sauce. We need 1/4 cup of that. It says 3 tablespoons of minced garlic, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna have Greg do 3 tablespoons of prepared horseradish. That should taste really awesome. And then we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper, which means I'm gonna measure with my heart. That looked good. And then the only other ingredient that this recipe does not have that I add is apple cider vinegar. What apple cider vinegar does is it helps with the tenderizing of the meat. I forgot to shake it. All right, now we're gonna let this go, stir it till it dissolves, and we'll bring you back when we're ready to dunk the turkey. All right, we've got some ice in our bucket. Now the next trick is we're gonna put the brine on top of the ice. We're gonna top the whole thing off with another gallon of water. And Greg only heated this up to dissolve. So hopefully this ice won't.
And as you can see.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's all gone. We're gonna add another gallon of water, and then Greg's gonna drop the turkey in here. There we go.
Yeah, you can hear no scraping at the bottom.
Yeah.
That means the
Salt's
salt
gone.
got good and dissolved.
Good deal. Here.
You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, got it.
Okay. All right, get her in there. Do we need more, or is she, oh, she'll be fine, huh? Maybe. Push her down. All right. I'm gonna put a plate on her just in case, just so we can have a barrier between. Might have to put a full jar on there, like of water, to get her to sit still. So now this is gonna go in the garage for 24 hours. So whatever, we can cook it off tomorrow. So this is a full 24-hour brine, and she's gonna go live in the garage because it's cold out there.
This will work like a weight. So that'll keep it pushed down and make sure water is always, the brine is always covering the turkey.
So what Greg has right now is he has got all those giblets we pulled out of the, sorry, I filled that really full. He's got all the giblets that we pulled out of the turkey, and we've got some poultry seasoning, salt, and pepper. And what's gonna happen here is we're just gonna let this thing simmer. We've got it on the very back smallest burner on the lowest setting possible, and we're just gonna let this thing roll. So this is the stock that we're gonna use to do stuffing, make gravy. So this is just another little all-day process. We'll add water if we need to, and then we can use the meat that comes off these bones in the actual stuffing. All right, so next on our list of preps are our vegetable sides. We have corn, green beans, and carrots. What's great about these 3 recipes is they'll stay overnight in the refrigerator quite well, and when you're ready to put them in the oven tomorrow, you just throw them in because they're already ready to go. So let's get started. Starting with our corn recipe, we like to keep this one simple because, especially if you have like little kids coming over, this is one that it's simple. There's not a lot of, there's good flavor, but it's not, you know, like special unique flavors. The kids will not bat an eye at it. And all we do is we salt, we add some pepper. I like to do a little bit of onion powder. That's another thing too. I don't want them seeing onion chunks, so we're gonna do onion powder, and then I don't want them seeing garlic either, so I want them to do garlic powder. So we're gonna trick the kiddos just a little bit. But we're gonna have good flavor in here. And this is just a simple recipe. And we can throw this in the oven and forget about it tomorrow while we're worried about everything else. The last ingredient is butter. So of that butter, we're gonna take a stick of it, and we're just gonna cut this and layer it on top. And as this bakes in the oven, all this butter will melt. We'll just stir it in, stick it on the table. This. And you're like, Chris, this is too easy. How come we just don't do it day of? You're gonna be doing so many other things day of. To be able to just take the lid off of this and throw it in the oven, you're gonna be like, thank you, past self, for taking the 3 minutes it's taken to do this. All right, lid on, in the refrigerator. Next super simple but amazingly good recipe, maple syrup glazed carrots. Carrots in the thing. I like to save a little bit of carrots left over in case some of the kiddos like raw carrots. So here's all the baby carrots. And it's a glaze, so we're going in with maple syrup. Okay, I'd say that was about a cup. We're gonna do a little bit of salt. Teeny weeny bit of black pepper. If I had white pepper, I'd do that. And then butter. This will melt nicely, caramelize in the oven, sitting next to the corn. And now you don't have to think about this tomorrow when you're running around getting everything accomplished before everybody shows up. All right, third and final, really super simple. We're gonna do green bean casserole. Everybody does their green bean casserole different. I'm gonna go drain these green beans real quick. I'm going to actually use the container I'm gonna cook it in as the bowl. So put a little bit of water in here to get the rest of this out. Let's make sure we get all of the mushroom. I believe the directions on that can say it needs a whole can to, boy, I'm making a mess. This needs a whole can of water to dilute the cream of mushroom soup. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that can of water, half a can of water, then I'm gonna do a half a can of milk. This is when we're gonna add some pepper. And we're gonna add some salt. If you want to add any additional ingredients right here, this is where you'll do it before you start adding all the parts and pieces in. So get that base the way you want it. That looks really good. We're gonna go in with the green beans. We'll fold that in. That's about 3 cans, fits perfect in our little vessel here. Now I want you to add some French onion pieces now, but don't add all of it because you're gonna top it as well. So just enough to, that's probably about a half a cup. Put enough in there to intermix with the cream of mushroom soup and the green beans. So these ones are gonna be the soggy ones and the crunchy ones will be on top. Okay. Now the only thing you have to do tomorrow before you put it in the oven is add some of those green or the French onion. I do like to do it around the edge because some people don't like it. So in the middle is there won't be any topping. I just put it around the edge. So this one is ready to go in the refrigerator till tomorrow. All right, y'all, I realized I forgot a vegetable. So, or call it a starch, call it a vegetable. So we are gonna use about half of that 5-pound bag of potatoes. That's roughly about 10 potatoes. I'm gonna do a rough chop on the potatoes because we are just gonna make plain old rustic mashed potatoes. So I like to go ahead and put them in water, wash all the starch off, put fresh water in, and then we boil them until you can put a fork through them, and then we're good to go. I'll strain them in the sink, and then we will add some milk. I had like a little bit left of milk in my jug there, so I went ahead and finished off the evaporated milk that we didn't use for the pies that are coming up. And then I added salt, pepper, and then mashed them because Greg and I love skins on, and we like chunks in our mashed potatoes. We do not like baby food mashed potatoes. So I did accidentally have to taste these, and they turned out absolutely fantastic. It definitely didn't need anything. We put them in another container like we did previously, and they are in the refrigerator ready to be warmed up. All right, y'all, now of all the pies on the planet, we're continuing to do our prep work. Pumpkin pie is so awesome and simple. So we're starting with our pumpkin. We're gonna add, we have half a teaspoon of salt, a cup of sugar, and then 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. We're gonna add 8 ounces of either milk or evaporated milk. We used evaporated milk. I just like the flavor of it better. 3 eggs. You're gonna stir. That's it. This is just such a wonderful recipe. You can use butternut squash. You can use, like if you got acorn squash or something like that. You could also use sweet potatoes, pretty much any squash, not a summer squash, but like a winter squash. It works just the same. And this is just a simple simple recipe. There's usually a pie pumpkin recipe on the back of every can of pumpkin. But this is it's just a simple, nice and easy recipe. See, and that's it. Okay. You take your pie crust, you put it on a cookie sheet first. Hang on. All right, let's put this on this is just in case you overfill it, which sometimes I do. And you can transfer it to the oven easier as well. Okay, this is a 9-inch. There's probably gonna be more. Yep, there we go. All right, that's it. We're gonna bake this off. I believe it's 450 till it's set, but we're gonna leave it over here because we're not ready to bake that off yet. All right, next recipe, or let's see what we can do with the leftover pumpkin. Got a little over a cup, probably 9 ounces. All right, y'all, so we got this leftover pumpkin. Comment below, what would you use this for? Another dessert? Trash it? Let us know. Next item that can sit on the stove all day long and on low is cranberry sauce. So we have most of our cranberries landing in the pot. I am going to add a teeny weeny little bit of water in the bottom, and these guys are gonna, that's probably a half cup. These guys are gonna sit here on the back burner out of the way on low, and they're going to burst and cook down so we can make cranberry sauce. All right, y'all, what'd you guess we were gonna do with this leftover pie or pumpkin filling? Guess what? We're making pumpkin cheesecake. I had enough. I was like, you know what? I added a little bit more. I'm like, I do not want to store this in the refrigerator and just waste it or try to make something else. So I had some cream cheese. We heated it up and we're just following a quick, simple recipe for cream cheese. And that is the end of us prepping for the day. This pretty much takes care of everything that we can do the day before. We still have recipes that we need to take care of tomorrow, but obviously we have cut that supply or that list of recipes down significantly. I think we need to do the macaroni and cheese, the stovetop, and cook the turkey, and then just finish everything else off. So we hope that you enjoyed today's episode. This is just kind of critical to making sure that the day that you cook Thanksgiving dinner, you're not pulling your hair out and you can actually take a shower. So we hope this is helpful. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And until we see you on the next video, bye y'all.